Are you looking to make your next event sizzle? Then you want to get in touch with Lee Entertainment. Mark Lee, the founder of Lee Entertainment, has worked with such notable festivals as the Art of Cool, the National Black Theater Festival, the Bull Durham Blues Festival, and the Durham Centerfest, as well as the Festival of the Eno. And it definitely can provide you with some great entertainers as well as help you make your event sizzle if you're looking forward to trying to have an event in your town. Mark Lee is willing to travel anywhere in this country to make your event sizzle and has entertainers that are also willing to travel as well. So if you're looking for quality entertainment, definitely get in touch at bluesradio@gmail.com.
And now for our feature presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
You're listening to Straight Talk with Dean and Mark. Call in to join the conversation at 646-668-8393.
Welcome to Straight Talk with Dean and Mark. It's the six-man Dean Geronimo in the studio with Mark Lee. We welcome you to yet another exciting episode of our show. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Straight Talk with Dean and Mark. I'm the six-man Dean Geronimo from NJ to NC. I'm in the studio once again with my man Mark Lee. So, Mark, tell me what's good in your neck of the woods, my brother.
Cold. It is cold weather out here because it has definitely got a little bit on the wintry side, but we don't have the snow. I think y'all have the snow because I heard that y'all had some snow. We just had rain yesterday, but it is still a little bit on the chilly side. But that's all right. You know, At least we're not sitting out in the cold like some of those folks in Washington, D.C. that are still in the middle of a shutdown.
At day 24, it makes no logical sense. We may have the worst president in the history of the United States in office right now, crying about a wall, shut down a government where people are not earning a paycheck because he's crying about a wall on a little piece of land in a country that has an entire coast covering it, leaving it wide open and susceptible to what he claims could be terrorist attacks. But I think all of those people just come over here and let their visas expire, and then they do other things, but he doesn't see that. Congress sucks as well because they allow him to run this dictatorship right now.
Yeah, and it's even got crazy TSA. Some people are calling out sick and calling out and not getting their work in. And I heard today that there was actually somebody that actually got a weapon through into a plane because TSA was not doing their job. So that happened earlier this week, I believe. It might have even been earlier today, but there was definitely somebody that got something through TSA. This is supposed to be the tremendously tight security TSA. I know I went to Vegas recently and went through TSA, and I don't know how they did it, but they somehow managed to get through and have that thing happen. So I'm still trying to figure out how that managed to slip through.
Well, think about this. If I'm working and I'm not getting a check, do I really give a damn about what makes it into a plane, what makes it on a plane? Do I care about any of that stuff? Hell no. All I'm worried about is my check so I can pay my bills and feed my family. Now you got me working basically for free. It is the ultimate form of slavery if you think about it, and you want me to protect you and you're not paying me? Nah, that's okay. I really don't care at this point. That's why you got all those TSA agents calling in. They're not coming to work. They have to shut terminals down, but he's still crying about a wall. So if he's listening, I hope he does hear it, and this is my opinion, and my opinion only, not the opinion of you, Mark Lee, not the opinion of the show. Dude, get out of your feelings, act like a man, be a leader, and lead this country. Stop getting into all the extras because we're suffering while you're worried about a stinking wall. That's all I got to say.
Hey, and I agree with you. Like I said, you said it's not your opinion, but I actually agree with you on this one that he just needs to step out of the way and let folks do what they need to do. As a matter of fact, it said that by a wide margin, more Americans are blaming President Trump and the Republicans in Congress than congressional Democrats for the now record-breaking government shutdown. And most reject the president's assertion that there is an illegal immigration crisis on the southern border, according to a Washington Post ABC News poll that was just recently released. So support for building a wall on the border, which is the principal sticking point in the stalemate between the president and the Democrats, has increased over the past year. Today, 42% say they support a wall, up from 34% last January. A slight majority of Americans oppose the idea, down from 63%. So there's some folks that might be for the wall, but I, for one, do not know who these folks are, and I think that most folks are definitely not thinking that we need this wall built or anything of that nature. But we do have folks that are entering into the White House race. As a matter of fact, I saw we have one of, I believe it was Obama's people, Mr. Castro, that has entered the race, and there are some others that are entering the race as well. I believe Bernie is putting together his staff. So it looks like there's going to be a lot of folks on the Democratic side running. So I was wondering if there's anybody that has really triggered your interest that is among these various candidates, some that have announced and some that are in the process of announcing.
Not at all, because I don't want to hear lip service. Don't feed me shit and tell me that it's chocolate pudding. You know, I need to see some actual action. Are you about what you say, or are you just trying to get into the office? And to the American people who may be listening to the show right now, stop voting people into office because they're popular and they have money. They don't know how to lead. They only know how to spend and cause problems. So, you know, we saw the same thing when an actor in the name of Ronald Reagan became the president. Look at what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, now you voted this guy into office. He knows nothing about politics, but he has money. So you think that that's going to be the, going to help us when it doesn't. He doesn't. I doubt if he even understands what's going on in the morning briefings, man. He probably just sitting there like, I'm going to do what I want to do because I'm rich. Meanwhile, the American people end up suffering for lack of knowledge and irresponsible decisions that are made because he sits in that office. So with all these people now, whether it be Democrat, whether it be Republican, you know, as an independent voter, I think my BS meter is up. So I don't want to hear what sounds good. Do what is good, and it'll be seen. And you also have to have the, that bridge built between the president and Congress. All of this back and forth is like an abusive relationship. And then you're asking the American people to take sides with either the abuser or the person being abused who won't leave. So it's just like you could throw a whole bunch of people are jumping into the ring because now that this guy has become president, that statement that they used to tell us when we were kids actually came true. You could be the president too. You know, we'd be better off getting a homeless guy that's on drugs or whatever to be the president. Let him get high before the meeting. He'll make better decisions than this one right here.
You're right,
but
and I still can't believe that statement he made where he claimed that all these living presidents had supported him on the wall, and then Pence tried to come out and tried to back him and basically just made a big mess of it because Jimmy Carter and a lot of the other living presidents said that they never said that, and Pence tried to make a whole mess of the whole thing. He said, well, I know the president has said that this was his impression from previous administrations. Previous presidents I know I've seen clips of previous presidents talking about the importance of border security, the importance of addressing the issue of illegal immigration. And then somebody from the press said, that's different from telling the president, though, right? But look, honestly, the American people want us to address this issue. It is a matter of national security. It is a matter of addressing human trafficking, the flow of narcotics into our country. And apparently the discussion just went on and on like that, and so he basically just kept putting his foot in his mouth like he does as well. So it was At one point he said he downgraded the claim severely by saying Trump merely got this impression. But Bill Clinton spokesman has said that the former president hasn't spoken to Trump since the inauguration. Barack Obama has said he hasn't done so except for a brief exchange at George H.W. Bush's funeral. And George W. Bush and Carter's aides have said those two former presidents hadn't even discussed the broader topic with Trump. Not only are they denying telling Trump that they support a border wall, they're saying that there was no conversation in which Trump could have gotten such an impression.
You know what? He's probably referencing about 12 years ago, 13 years now, when those in Congress passed the Secure Fence Act. Of course, he was not in politics at that time, but all of those Democrats and Republicans, to include our former president, to include Hillary Clinton, they all voted for this wall. That's 13 years ago. They started building the wall. They ran out of money. So there's a part of the wall that's already up, and then there are people who live along that coastline who are stuck between the coastline and the wall. So now people are still coming in. All they're going to have to do is walk the wall. When the wall ends, come on in. But if El Chapo could break out of jail,
yep,
I'm quite sure somebody who really wants to come in the country can get in with no problem. But you still haven't gone after the ones like that were responsible for September 11th. You gave them visas. Their visas expired. They stayed here. They went to flight school. And then they ended up flying planes into the building. 3,000 people lost their lives. They didn't have a damn thing to do with a border wall. Drugs have been getting shipped into this country by air, trafficking, cross-country, internationally, through the water. It's not coming through a damn tunnel crossing one border. So, you know, for those people who actually believe it, I have some hot water to sell you in hell. In fact, I got a jacuzzi down there. You can use it for $20 an hour. You know what I mean? Like, you get to believe in some of the idiotic things without using logic. And you got people saying, yeah, we need the wall for border security. But show the proof where so much crime is happening because somebody snuck across that border. Show me the proof that they're bringing the drugs with them. Show me all of this proof. When these people live in a country where 3 times the number of people that got killed in Chicago get killed on a weekly basis down there, they kidnapping tourists and all of that stuff, and they're like, yo, we don't want to live like this. They come over here, they bring their families, they work hard, and you talking to them. So since you're talking to immigrants, send your wife back first. Make her the example. Send her back. And then you go back too, because your grandfather sent a letter to the government begging to stay in the United States. So since you're a descendant of since you're a descendant of an immigrant, ship yourself back. And we might have something to go by. We may listen to your argument, but until then, you're just a dude who unfortunately fooled people into believing you were somebody when you are nobody holding the office for everybody. It's a damn shame.
It is a shame. And ABC News White House correspondent Johnson Carl says his source has told him that Robert Mueller's anticipated report on the special counsel's investigation into the Russian election, meddling, and possible collusion between President Trump's campaign and Moscow is almost certain to be anticlimactic. So they're already expecting that we're not going to learn anything that we haven't already known already. Says if you look at what the FBI was investigating in the New York Times report, you look at what they are investigating, Mueller did not go anywhere with that investigation. He has been writing his report in real time through these indictments, and we have seen nothing from Mueller on the central question of was there any collusion with the Russians in the efforts to meddle in the election, or was there even knowledge on the part of the president or anybody in the campaign with what the Russians were doing? There's been no indication of that. So It says the New York Times reported last Friday that the FBI opened an investigation into whether Trump was working on behalf of the Russians in 2017. According to the Times, the probe was prompted by Trump's dismissal of former FBI Director James Comey. Trump, however, called the report insulting during an interview on Saturday with Fox News. So, I mean, he's calling something insulting. I'm thinking that his whole presidency might be insulting.
You know what? His whole presidency needs to just be erased. Because, dude, we know you in there. You having private meetings with somebody? Come on, Jack. There's a whole lot of stuff